The House of Representatives voted Friday to expel New York Congressman George Santos. It's only the sixth time in history a member has been expelled. 311 lawmakers voted to remove Santos, including 105 members from his own party. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane reports.
George Santos began putting on his coat even as the vote to expel him was still underway, and then bolted.
Mr. Santos, what's your reaction to the expulsion?
Chased by reporters and riding off from the Capitol in a Jaguar as a former congressman. His final remark, reportedly, "Why would I want to stay here? To hell with this place."
In light of the expulsion of the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos, the whole number of the House is now 434.
Dozens of his fellow Republicans joined nearly all Democrats, voting to make Santos one of only 3 U.S. House members to be expelled since the U.S. Civil War, as congressional maintenance crews changed the locks on his doors and removed his nameplate.
Today, at least, democracy prevailed.
Members of both parties who had labeled Santos a crook and a distraction celebrated the move. Are you surprised by how any of that played out today?
No, but I'm pleased to see that this institution did the right thing.
Republican leadership, worried about their narrow majority, tried to save him by voting against removal.
Do you think Mr. Santos should stay?
I'm not going to vote to expel.
Arguing it sets a bad precedent to remove a member who hasn't been convicted of a crime. But Santos is facing trial next summer on 23 federal charges, including to accusations he stole his campaign donors' credit card numbers and racked up thousands of dollars in charges.
I have been convicted of no crimes, Mr. Speaker.
But it was a scathing House Ethics Committee report that convinced many Santos had gone too far, finding he grifted from his donors to surround himself in luxury, spending thousands on Botox treatments, luxury trips, and items from a high-end Ferragamo boutique. Just this week, one of his colleagues, Ohio Republican Max Miller, alleged his credit card and his mother's were among those fleeced by Santos.
You, sir, are a crook.
Scott MacFarlane joins us now from Capitol Hill. Scott, will the Santos expulsion impact Speaker Johnson's agenda?
Quite a bit. Speaker Johnson, Republicans had just a 5-seat majority. They've lost 20% of it. It's down to 4. There'll be a special election, a pretty expensive one in one of the few competitive congressional districts across America, Catherine. But Democrats are bullish on their chances of winning it. And with all the big things still ahead, government shutdown deadlines, Israel aid, Ukraine aid, the House majority, which has struggled with its narrow majority so far, now has even a thinner margin for error.
Scott, is it that thin margin that has House Republicans considering holding a vote as early as next week to formalize their impeachment inquiry into President Biden?
And they, at the point the week began, tried to reinvigorate that with some new energy. House Republican leaders say it's a priority, say they're going to move on this. The House Speaker himself says it's a priority. Timetable's less than clear, though, because there are so many big votes still to be tended to, including those we just mentioned: government spending and aid for the war efforts overseas.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you for your reporting on Capitol Hill.